Boom! Hello and welcome to the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast Season 5. Never forget that to the best of us, protection's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. Enjoy. Boom! Check it out. We're out here at the IPSB Close Protection Conference. I'm so excited about this, man. Thanks to these guys, Sentinel, man,
yes,
Constantine.
Thank you.
We got this awesome booth, and it's amazing. So we're just taking in interviews and just kind of getting a pulse for the industry and the event.
And there's some pretty amazing people here.
Absolutely, man.
So many cool people.
There's so many people there that I still got to get on my podcast that I got to and that's kind of I thought I was going to run out of people to interview from our industry because it's so small and so, compared to other industries. Yeah. But there's so many amazing people out there in the shadows of the world doing protection.
Do you think there's any right here beside us right now that could be amazing? Like right beside us, maybe?
Maybe this way.
Maybe.
Like this way. So we've got Suzanna in the house. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
It's an honor to have you. You were one of our panelists at the EP Forum yesterday. And it was an honor to have you there kind of talking a little bit about something I think a lot of people struggle with, which is branding in our space. You know, a lot of handshake guys, a lot of guys that I would kick a door down with, but this new realm of like the digital realm presents some challenges that I think a lot of good people need help understanding how to overcome. But that's my 2 cents on it. Why don't you let everyone know who you are, what you're doing, where they can find you.
Well, thank you again for allowing me to be part of the panel yesterday.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Suzanna, stop for a second. Do you think it's good to tell the story of how she got on the panel?
Sure.
Yeah,
do you want to tell the story? You
Absolutely.
did it, so one of you guys.
I mean, I think
did you bring EP ventriloquism over here? Is that what you did to us yesterday?
Yes.
No, but here's the thing. We talk about creating opportunities.
Yes.
Okay.
And Suzanna said, I'm going to go and directly go to the person that's kind of like facilitating this.
Yeah.
I'm have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And
she locked on to me. I saw her from like a few steps away. I was like, something's happening right now.
No, 100%.
I was like, I'm going to be in the front of the stage. My guys are watching.
I would not even do what she did.
Yeah.
No. I'd be like, maybe what if you were that? What if you weren't that kind of guy?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to me and telling me to put you on the panel?
You know what? This is big because honestly, I don't even know if I would have done. I thought the only reason she did, I was like, the boys must have put her up to this. Yeah. That's what I was thinking to myself. Hey, you never know what you're gonna get until you go after it.
So what she do? She basically went to Byron and said, Byron, where is your women speakers? And well, look, Byron had some stuff lined up. It didn't come as into fruition as it did. So she says, well, why don't you put me on?
Yeah.
Just like that. I'm like, why don't you put me on? Like, why don't you just think about this? Let's break the schedule that's already in place now.
Right.
And put her in.
And just do it.
And you did it.
And of course. I'm all about flow.
That was great, though.
Yeah.
And we're going to put some B-roll on this.
Yes.
But here's what blew me apart. I told her this. The fact that it looked like it was meant to be. Like it was so organically incredible.
Homie, I built the parachute on the way down. There's so much about my brand that looks like it's supposed to meant to be. You know what I'm saying? And we just build it on the way, Yeah. And so it was that's the way I love to do it.
Yes.
You guys put me in a position to win, even with this booth, right?
Yeah, man.
And now we're just going to crack off some grand slams.
Yeah, buddy. 100%, man.
I love it. Yeah.
So that was it. So this was an opportunity where Suzanna created her opportunity. She got the stage. She worked the crowd, and she was a great contributor. So, anyways, go.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the good promotion.
Hey.
So I am Suzanna. I'm the founder of Evolutes, which is a branding and marketing agency that specializes within the security industry, but we also have footprints in other markets right now, such as real estate, construction, jewelry, and entertainment.
Outstanding.
So we provide services to help companies, but also professionals to stand out online, but also make sure that they monitor everything on the presence online as well. So we help them create, but also maintain it. So we do content creation, social media management, website design, UI UX design, copywriting. So everything that you might think that goes under the social media realm, we covered up.
But is that important, do you think, Byron? Do you think it's important for someone to brand themselves?
This digital realm is so important. It's so important on every single area, It's where people are hunting your kids. It's where your business shows up and legitimizes itself. I mean, it's where the battle's fought and won. It doesn't even honestly, sometimes almost matters less who has a better product.
Right.
It's all about who's got the better marketing and who's able to dominate that space in everyone's minds and their eyeballs and their bandwidth that they have for taking in information. It's like, and that's where the real battle's fought and won.
And you mentioned like 2 examples, like very extreme examples. Well, that is what I like to say about social media. That social media is a powerful tool if you know how to utilize it.
Yeah, it's like a gun.
Exactly.
100%. And it can do extreme evil, and it can be the thing that stops extreme evil.
Absolutely. I mean, right behind you, there's some incredible footage going on.
Right.
Imagine, I was talking about this with you yesterday, Suzanna. I mean, we put out I like to think some great content.
You guys do amazing content.
But the thing is, if we put out great content and 17 people are watching it, okay? I mean, this is where they say content is queen, marketing is king.
Ooh,
I
like that. I like that.
I know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like you need that plan. And what Suzanna told me yesterday, she says, look, I'm looking at the stuff that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You guys need a strategy plan.
Yeah.
On what you can do to help you get it out there.
Amplify it.
Yeah, because just posting something, for example, is not going to work.
Not enough.
Exactly.
But you're so right. The branding perspective is key here. 1970 websites, for example, are not going to cut it anymore. You need something intuitive that someone can interact with.
Right, something beautiful.
You know
Did she make your guys' website? Because your website's gorgeous.
No, she didn't make that. She didn't.
Okay.
No, but
Well,
she's
maybe
probably going to have some flair on touch
Maybe
of
we
it.
need to talk offline, man.
Yeah,
that thing
yeah.
is gorgeous. Their
Yeah.
website's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Better than my website. So what is the number one thing that you help people with? If you were going to say the first thing.
Is going back to the basics.
Yeah.
And seeing everything from, like, as I like to say, like on black and white, and we spoke about that yesterday, on paper.
Yeah.
So I need to understand your messaging. I need to understand what your goals are. I need to understand who your target market is and what the overall vision is for your company. And the first thing is I like to go back to the basics.
Yeah.
I like to realign everything, and then you are able to take the next step. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, jump to the website and try to rebrand it. But what exactly are you rebranding?
Yeah.
Because
what is your message anyways?
Exactly, what is your message? So for me, what I would say good at is actually bringing it back to the beginning and make you think. Like, maybe you started a business 5 years ago.
Right.
And you had a specific idea of what you wanted, but like 5 years after, your potentially services have changed, your staff have changed, your view on the world, how your service has changed. So that is the most important thing that we do is.
So it's like shooting, I mean, I'm an infantry guy, right? So, it's like you get the guy, he's got the Ninja holster, he's got the latest and greatest gadgets, red dot, all the stuff. He wants to run and gun. He doesn't know why he's not hitting anything, and he's not able to keep up. And it's like, bruh, you just got to master the basics. Shooting is shooting. Shooting and moving is shooting. Shooting in a car is shooting.
Yes.
Shooting is shooting. Master the fundamentals of shooting. Now you're effective, and now we can go do it underwater as we jump out of helicopters.
Okay,
and stuff.
Let's talk about posting for a second.
Okay.
Now, I heard you say yesterday that one should post at least 3 to 5 times a week. I think you post like 500 times a day.
I'm a freak, man. Yeah.
Okay, but to me, like, is there an element where, like, Byron, for yourself, when you're posting, like, is there like a
what's your end goal?
Yeah,
when
what,
you
like,
post? I'm curious too.
Because to me, you put so much good stuff out. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. So now I'm hearing the impact and the effect.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is I want to have a relationship with these people, So I want to, like, every day I'm giving them something of value. Every day. And so what I'm doing is I'm fostering a high-level relationship with them where they're spending maybe a few hours with me a week.
Right.
If you're watching my podcast and you're seeing my 5 to 10 minute videos, at least one of them per day, and the algorithm finds you another one at some point, we kind of are like, I might be one of your best friends. Like, you'll know a lot about me, and you're going to get warmer faster. And then when I say to you or ask you or proposition and say, hey, I have this $5,000, $6,000, $2,000 product that I believe will change your life and give you a career path where you can make 6 figures out here in the United States, that has been amazing for me, and that I've plugged a lot of people in already. You're going to be like, this guy's legit. Like, I just saw him this morning at the gym talking to me about this and that, and I just saw him over there on the private airfield dropping a field note about what he does. Like, you're going to be like, oh, I just saw him with all the students that he brought through the course. Oh, I just saw a testimonial of one of the guys that he just got a job in 3 months who was like working at a casino, was like, I hope I can get into EP. And now he's at Comic-Con with 3 different artists. Yeah, I mean, like, you're going to be like, okay, you know, and you're going to reach out to my customer support, or you're just going to be like, let's just do this online.
Right.
Because I'm like your dude, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking, everything I do is all about relationships.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to widen my sphere of relationships.
Right.
You know, and so that's really what it is. And also I attack culture.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes it's not even just a goal of like get people in the door to our school so we can impact and contribute to their life and build a more valuable network for everyone there. But I'm really trying to impact the culture of the protection industry.
Yes.
And really the culture of the world.
Right.
And so I want moms, single moms, to be like, I need to learn how, I'm 110 pounds, I need to learn how to protect people. How can I do that? Where can I do that? Byron Rodgers is teaching me the soft skills of how to live a safer pattern of life, and he's consistent. And so I'm going to take that online course, you know? And so I'm aiming at multiplying protectors.
Okay.
And I can do that online with an ongoing relationship.
Wow, man.
Protectors are the white blood cells in the body of humanity.
I love that.
And it's a calling. It's more than just like a business or
and
a
that's
job.
what I like, because we talked about the same thing almost on the panel about different strategies for different type of influencers on LinkedIn. Some people, for me personally, with my type of audience that I have right now, 3 to 5 is the minimum to do, and then you see what you want and how they react to it.
How they react.
Is that per week or per day?
Per week.
Per week.
Yeah. Sometimes if your audience is reacting, if for you it's mostly you want to give your audience more content so that they can digest more, then you can bombard them, for lack of a better word, and so they have a lot to look into and a lot to digest. But that is because your audience is responding to that, and it's working for you, and that's the strategy that you've applied and learned.
That works with your avatar.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is, most sane people don't want to make more than like 3 to. You might have to fight them to get 3 to 5, 3, 2, 3, 4 pieces of content out of them.
Yeah.
You know, most normal people. Me, fortunately, by the grace of God, it's just, this is like a war. I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm going to war against evil, and this is what I was created to do.
You're not even you're not part of the 5 a.m. club. You're part of the 4 a.m. club.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
4 man. Hey, it's a war. It's hard. It hurts every time. It hurts so good. It's a discipline.
It is.
And the more people I can get to understand the art of protection, the safer the world's going to be.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question, because you guys are talking a language that I think a lot of people out there may not know, and this is this.
Yeah.
You mentioned the word algorithm.
Yes.
Okay? Now,
the evil.
Yeah, man.
so I think it's important, first of all, that we talk about algorithm and what it is, because again, remember, if we're going to spoon feed this to people, especially people that don't know how to brand themselves, what is the importance of an algorithm? How do you make the algorithm work for you?
Well, I mean, I'll start, I guess.
You start, yeah.
The algorithm is like the Matrix, man. It's the rules by which you have to play in order to play in their game. So it's basically what they decide to show and how much they decide to show it based on the metrics of like what they want their platform to be about. So I'm on the dark side. Like I'm like a villain, you know, because I do a lot of firearms stuff and I use real world violence. And so like I'll find a way to like make the algorithm serve me and show a high volume of my content to them, but they'll cap me off at a certain level because they don't want their platform to be about that. And then they'll change up, and then they'll shuffle the deck and at once a quarter, and and all of a sudden,
once a quarter. That's the evil part of it. It's so.
Yeah, once you figure it out, they change it.
Exactly.
Who is they? When did they change
the platform?
The platform. So
the
every
Illuminati.
platform.
No, them.
At this point, it might as well be.
I know, right?
So every platform has its own internal algorithm.
Kind of algorithm based on that platform's values.
Okay.
So, the second you figure it out, it does change. And so you might post a red square on Tuesday, which was like getting hits and getting blown up, and then next Thursday it's going to be a blue square, and then you're going to have to like figure it out and like lean into it a little bit and be like, okay, and then boom, you post another type of content and it'll go viral, and then you're like, I got it, hammer, and then they'll change it up again. So this being effective in the marketplace, realistically, you almost need a professional on your team who's able to stay tracking and courting and dating what's working, you know, you can post 30 hashtags. And it's really easy to be like, I'm going to post all 30 hashtags.
Right.
But the algorithm only likes you to post like 3 to 4.
four.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on a second.
But they don't say that.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So it's like
Yeah.
if you post
That
30,
specific?
Yeah,
you're
and the
spamming.
time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's exactly. And it's like, are you resharing? As I was telling you,
Yeah.
are you resharing or posting original content? So the algorithm is pretty much a math formula that no
Yeah.
one has an answer to,
Yeah.
but everyone thinks that they do.
Yeah.
And so it's like whoever guesses closer to the answer that that platform wants, they'll push out your content, and then you can have the best content. And if I don't know,
If it doesn't react?
if it's like today I
Wow.
want 4 hashtags
Yeah.
and you put 5, it's like, well, you didn't follow what I
Yeah,
wanted,
yeah.
and I'm punishing you, so you'll get just 2
And
likes.
and you didn't get enough reshares and enough
Exactly.
saves and enough likes and
And
enough
then
comments.
you didn't get 10 likes within
Yeah.
the first 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
that means no one
Hey.
wants to see your content.
So this is
Wow.
why. What's up, gents? This is why you have to have someone. It's effective if you don't understand marketing.
Okay.
To have someone on your team that while you're being a CEO and you're pushing the mission forward in the field or whatever it is, you have someone on your team that's focusing on social,
Okay, well, I'll tell you, the algorithm of this podcast is that at any minute
The
it can stop.
algorithm.
It can stop instantly because
Yeah.
Byron's gonna take off and say hi to somebody, and
it's
we just don't know what the algorithm can work, but it goes.
Let's do it.
No, that's good,
So
man. That's
this
really
is-
good.
This is good.
Yeah.
Any closing tips or words or anything of that you think could help people when it
I'll
comes to
take
this?
that one.
Hammer it.
I'll hammer it. If you are planning on going on the LinkedIn posting journey and you want to become a content creator, understand that you cannot just post one time and then expect to go viral immediately. It is something that you need to plan out a week in advance, a month in advance, understand what type of activities you will have, what type of people you will meet, and how you can not only advertise yourself as your personal brand, you can advertise the company that you work for if you get the permission from them in writing that you're able to talk about the company and the things that you do. Or if you are self-employed, how you can positively demonstrate your services and how you add value to your potential clients and audience without being salesy, unless it's a direct thing that you're selling. But even then, you have to be more of a storytelling approach. And if you are committing to it and you're telling everyone, I'm committing to becoming a content creator, and you do it for 2-3 months and it's not the results that you want, and then you quit, it is demonstrating that you are not. I've seen a couple of times, and I've been telling that to my clients. It's if you quit midway before the results come, it demonstrates that you're not able to maintain that relationship with yourself and that commitment, and your audience will catch on to that. And when you will retry to redo it, the algorithm will know that you're retrying again and will not push your stuff as forward if you remain committed.
It's like trying to get an ex-girlfriend back. The algorithm is. I think the algorithm's a female. That's what I think.
Oh,
Okay,
Yo.
well, look, man, I think it's been a great
yes.
hearing
Yes.
this.
Fantastic.
I think we have a lot of work ahead of us.
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of work, especially for us.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I want to get a couple more followers today just by working the algorithm.
Thank you so much,
tags,
gentlemen.
reshares.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Boom.
Thanks.
I love it.
Boom.
Boom, if you've been enjoying the podcast, I want to encourage you to come and train with me. Train with us, the League of Executive Protection Specialists. We offer online courses so you can train and learn how to take your executive protection career to the next level from the comfort of your own home. We offer on-ground training on everything from the hard skills of driving, shooting, medical, and into the soft skills through the Executive Protection Immersion course, which is one of the most experiential, learning-centric courses in the executive protection industry. Either way, I want you to become part of the golden standard in the private security industry and join the brotherhood, the League of Executive Protection Specialists. Go to epspecialist.com and let's do our careers together. I'll see you there. Out.
All right, guys, we have Anderson Herbert from Anderson Protective Services
Yes,
from
indeed.
Washington, D.C.
Boom.
Now, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Byron, I feel short now, bro.
Dude, you feel short.
I-
I worked my whole life. And I'm saying, superior gene pool, man. You just got to accept it.
Anderson, how tall are you, bro?
I'm 6'9".
6'9".
Yes.
Wow, man.
It was created to protect
He was
people.
created. That's it, man.
Thank
Only
God.
thing- only thing to do.
That's it, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Tell us a
Crazy.
little bit about yourself, man.
Oh.
Where you come from,
Well, I'm originally from the Virgin Islands. I ended up residing in the DMV area.
So we're both kind of like West Indian then.
Yes, indeed.
I'm from the Bahamas, man.
okay,
You know, that's what's up. See, y'all don't know, you know.
That's an island thing going on.
Yeah, man, I dig it.
And got my company started in 2011. I got into the business 17 years now.
Wow.
And been in 84 countries. And now I'm just, pushing the business and trying to scale and explore and meet people.
Yeah. Man, and so doing it for yourself and just kind of building your brand. How long have you had your company and all that?
2011. We started in 2011.
So you started your company, I got into this game in 08. So, wow, man, you've been after it for a while, bro.
Yes, indeed.
Well, hey, any
From
wisdom?
the halls and walls to you name it.
Outstanding. What would you say to a new agent looking at getting into this game?
I would say more or less your soft skills.
Yeah.
Because once you go to an EP course, everybody basically get taught the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what separates you from everybody else in this business is what you've learned throughout your life.
Wow.
Either a different language, a different kind of skill, cooking, medic, scuba diving, hand sign language, whatever that is, that separates you from everybody else.
Yeah.
It makes you more valuable.
Yeah, it makes you more valuable. The funny thing about that is we were at the EP Forum yesterday literally talking about the same thing.
Right.
What's your differentiator? What's your edge?
Right.
How good are your soft skills, your
Right.
social skills? Yeah, the hard skills save lives, but the soft skills keep you in the game and get you paid.
Absolutely.
You know, can you gain cultural equity?
Yeah. Are you coachable?
Are you? Yeah,
Ooh.
man. I can't even. You can have all of that and not be coachable, and I can't touch you, man.
Exactly.
No, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. What would you say to like a company owner, some of these young PPOs that are they're starting to make that transition into trying to launch their own EP company?
I mean, I think it's a wide open area for that, but
Yeah.
I would get to understand more the psychology of people more than the hard skills or everything else. You got to know who you're dealing with inside with your clientele and versus with the client as well.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, 100%, man. And have an idea where your clients are coming from before you start your company, man, because otherwise you're just gonna have bills,
Yes, indeed.
And
then when you start your company, you kind of at a deficit. Everyone's is hungry to generate revenue, but you want to be mindful every money is not good money.
say that again.
I'm just telling you, there's certain things I just don't deal with because the liability when it goes wrong, not if, when it goes wrong, it could destroy you.
Yeah.
So I'm very picky what I do.
It's interesting how important your values are, no
Yes.
matter how much money's on the table.
Yes, it is.
Your values secure your long money.
Yes.
Where are you operating out of again?
Washington, D.C. area,
Yeah.
based out of Maryland. So we licensed in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and also in the Dominican Republic. We just opened up. Yes.
You're in the DR.
Yes, sir.
My father's in the DR, man. I might have to connect y'all.
Okay.
What is any different? Well, what would you say the EP scene's looking like out there right now? Because I know a lot of guys are thinking like, okay, a lot of federal stuff, a lot of law enforcement guys, but what's the game looking like right now?
Well, with technology now, it kind of makes it a lot easier than before, which is good and bad because for me, the EP world is more thinking fast on making quick decisions.
Yeah.
You got a lot of cheat codes with technology, but when that goes down, you still got to go back to what you know.
Right.
So you have to learn both sides of that.
Yeah. 100%.
That's good, man.
I like
That's
it.
good. Any words of wisdom for anyone listening right now, like as a last takeoff nugget?
Do what you love. I mean, if this is an industry that you want to get into, you have to love this. You can't just do it because you see the glats and glimmers and a lot of halls and walls. There's a lot of long days and
service.
Hurry up and get ready and not go nowhere.
And wait.
Hurry up and wait. So
man.
if you're not ready for that, this might not be for you.
Yeah.
But it's great.
You don't have the right heart.
You got to have the right temperament,
That's good, man. You guys heard it live today from Anderson. Thank you so much for coming down, brother.
Thank y'all for having me.
It's an honor, man. Love having you up in
here.
here,
Appreciate it.
All right. Boom. What's up, you guys? So I'm here with Caesar of Diamondback Risk Management. We're at the IPSB Close Protection Conference, and so we set up this booth just to let you guys know kind of who people are, what they're doing. We were having a pretty awesome conversation about training and bringing honor back to the private security industry. go ahead and just expound a little bit on that real quick, and then I'll give my 2 cents on it.
Okay. Yeah, so what we're trying to look at doing is bringing, like you said, honor, respect back to the profession itself. When people think of security, they think of their average everyday mall cops, bottom barrel, minimum wage making guys, but they don't realize there's a lot of people out there that are probably properly trained, if not better equipped and trained than most law enforcement officers out there.
Yep.
And we're noticing that the more we work on the streets, especially, in high-risk areas where they're low on manpower with police officers, so they're trying to push them out there as quickly as they can, and they're not getting the proper training, whether it's law, defensive tactics, or anything of that nature. So people are really relying more on properly trained security guards to guard their HOAs, their properties, gas stations, residential areas, apartment complexes, things like that.
Right.
And we're noticing that there's a lot of people who push quality over or quantity over quality. They're not putting good guards out there, but they're putting a lot of them out there. So what we're trying to do is get our guys properly trained, but also bring training to the civilian sector too. When people see where they're lacking in security, whether it's personal protection or it's just their guards that they're hiring themselves. So we're trying to put out a better product out there for security industry itself.
100%, man. And I think we have the shared vision, because honestly for me, man, I get it. With a lot of clients, like they've had they're like coming out of bad relationships. They had maybe an EP guy that would fall asleep. Maybe they've had these bad experiences. And so then once we start to show them the golden standard, once we start to kind of be who we are in this space, they're like, oh wow, you do this, you do that, and it's like they start to actually realize the service they should have been getting. And that's what I'm here to do with all the training and everything, is restore honor and respect back to our industry, because there are a lot of guys out there that they're not bad guys, but maybe they don't have the training and they don't know any better. And with the security industry being what it is and the trajectory we are on for growth, it's so necessary to have those training opportunities, to have guys like you guys that really want to make this thing an honorable thing, because they pay us enough.
They do. And that's the thing, is they do.
It's a serious enough task.
And the problem is also Hollywood too, the way they portrayed security guards in a lot of movies. And we hear that all the time, the top flight security of the world.
Man,
it's something I hear every single day.
Cop,
but they don't realize it's like we have to go through a lot of training. Now there are some companies who require the bare minimum. If you can get your guard card and you breathe, you can get security guard.
If you're warm.
And the way I always told people is it's a tier system. Same thing as law enforcement, same thing as the military, same thing as security. You have your top tier, your the tip of the spear type security guards. Then you have the middle ones, then you got the bottom barrel, that are maybe event security, or they'll do like a concert, or they'll do fairgrounds or things of that nature. They don't need a whole lot of training.
We need them,
I started out bouncing. But they still need to do a good job.
But you still need to do a good job.
You still need to do a good job. So they're not considered, the SWAT teams or the SEAL teams of security world, but they still need to be professionals at what they do.
100%.
Same thing, I started as a bouncer at a sports bar. My job was to point at a sign and say, the sign says you can't do that. I was getting paid money to do that. The sign should have been enough, but people don't know how to learn or how to listen either.
So we got to have the hard skills.
But we have to have those hard skills, communication skills. Like what we do is, we don't sell this, big brute that's going to, force you to do what he wants to do. We sell salesmen. And we could teach them how to do the other stuff. As long as you have communication skills, if you're good customer service, we could teach you everything else. We can teach you all the defensive tactics, the pepper spray, baton, handcuffs, firearm skills. We can teach that. What we can't teach is a person that can communicate. A person that can, especially like verbal judo skills. People, I thought that was just a term people made up. I found out that what it really was, and I went through the curriculum and I read the book and everything, and he had a good thing going on back in the 80s and 90s. People don't use that training anymore. They skip over it, or they'll just
they roll their eyes like,
this old school way of thinking. Once I read that book, it turned my mind of how I was doing my job. I was no longer telling people what to do. I wasn't being that enforcer anymore, which is what people think they're supposed to be.
Flowing with it.
Flowing with it. Communicating, talking to people.
100%.
You get people to do what they want, what you want to do, just by asking them properly.
And making it, sometimes even making them think it's their idea. And that social dynamics is probably one of, if not our most valuable weapons.
It's the talking to people, not at people.
100%.
And what I've learned.
That's huge, man. But I really love what you guys are talking about. I love what you guys are doing. Making sure that guys are able to do the task on the soft skills side and on the hard skills side. And I really believe we kind of are joining forces, and I love I'm hearing it more. I feel like our industry is going through something where we kind of did the PC thing, we kind of did the soft skills, we really recognize that. And now I think people are getting back to where they want to actually make sure the person that they're paying to do the job can do all of the job. Well, and that's exciting for me.
And that's the thing is, you can do all these hard skills all you want, but sometimes you can train at it, but then it happens in real life and you realize I was not properly prepared for that.
That's what the training's for.
That's what it's there.
You want to die 1,000 times.
People go into doing these jobs never getting the training, but they just assume that they're going to be able to do it.
I was a Marine, so I can.
Exactly. I saw it on YouTube. I was an Army truck driver for 8 years, stuff like that, and all of a sudden they're getting into a tussle and they realize I probably should have had better training. Yeah. I probably should have had at least a few days of something of another. Whether I should
have a habit.
A habit, yep. You make stuff habitual. You're going to refer back to it, as opposed to I hope that my training is going to come out, as opposed to I know my training will. And that's the one thing I liked about the training we did down in Tucson a couple months back, is it opened up a lot of people's eyes that they don't know as much as they thought they did.
Yeah, man.
Once you start getting punched in the gut a couple times fighting for your gun, it's like, do I really want to do this job after all? And some people did. It drove them to want to do it more, and some people it did. It made them open their eyes and say, you know what? Maybe I might want to do something else that I'm actually happy or better doing.
Yeah, 100%. And and that's what I was. That whole weekend of training, I remember just being like, remember, this is exposure to new tactics, exposure to training, and exposure to who and what you really are capable of when you're in these types of simulated kinetic situations.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful about it, man. Submitting to exposure, submitting to higher levels of instruction. There's power in that.
And that's a lot of things that people don't want to do, is they don't want to be opened up. They don't want to open another door to different types of training. They're so stuck in their ways, thinking, hey, I learned this for the last 12 years. Why are you changing it on me now? Well, because something's changed in the last 12 years. Social media has become more popular. Cell phones are coming out now. So the way you're treating people, just any interaction with the public, now that cell phone comes out, the way you talk to people, it's going to go viral. It's going to go on YouTube. The words that you use, the verbiage, the terminology, all that has to change because what people are being exposed to via social media has changed as well.
The game's changing, man. The digital realm is real.
Yep, it's always evolving. TikTok can make stars in a day.
Yeah.
It would have took 10 years of doing marketing and stuff. You can do that in a day now on TikTok.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Caesar, this is good, man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure again. Nice seeing you, brother.
Boom, what's going on? I've got Ashton and David of Charlie Mike Protection. We're at the Close Protection Conference. It's been pretty awesome just kind of hanging here and getting a pulse for what's going on in the game. These guys walked up, said they appreciated some of the things I've been doing. So 100%. That means a lot to me. I'm always trying to help the industry get better, help us all get better together. And so really what this talks about is just who are you guys? What are you doing? What are you seeing out there in the industry? And then where do you think things are going,
So start off by first, how I recognized you and how I found you was when I first wanted to get into the industry, I had somebody kind of come up to me and tell me, hey, you're doing nursing in the medical field.
Yeah.
You can transition this over into the private sector.
Heck yeah.
I said, okay, isn't that like James Bond type stuff though?
Yeah.
So the more I dove into it, I actually looked up on YouTube. You were the first video that popped up on YouTube.
Outstanding.
And that's how I found you out.
Heck yeah.
One thing I see in the industry that could be changed is training.
Yeah.
The industry is constantly being watered down by people who don't have correct training or just training in general. A lot of these bigger companies or companies in general aren't taking the time to put effort into their people.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we need to do as individuals and as companies as a whole is instill in our people, get them the correct training and get them trained up to do the right jobs. Because the last thing we want to do is put them in front of a client that does not approve, and now we lost that contract.
Yeah. Or a client that did approve but didn't know they actually didn't know that they didn't have the training to be able to execute on the objectives.
Right.
And then you guys lose the contract. Our industry looks like it's garbage.
Exactly.
And then that client goes into their next relationship like an abused wife. I can't trust men. I can't trust the security industry.
Yeah.
And
that, it's
that's what kills me.
Yeah, and it's such a small network of agents
people
out there, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those. What's that old famous saying where you can do things 1,000 times correctly.
Yeah.
But one time you mess up, that's what they remember. Right?
Yeah.
And you really need to hone in on that. And it comes back to the basics, right?
Yeah.
Right place, right time, right uniform, right mindset.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the bare basics, whether you're military, law enforcement, EP, static security, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
The bare basics is where you want to be, and you grow off of those basics.
Yeah.
Come to an event like this is, in my opinion, a basic, because what you know and how you train may not be how I do it. And
Right.
you can learn something from me regardless of how long you've been in this industry.
100%.
And I can learn something from you regardless of how long I've been in this industry,
Right.
right? And that's kind of where our training mindset comes in. It's like, it doesn't matter how long you've been in it, it doesn't matter where you've been, there's always room for improvement. Progress is key, right? And it's not practice makes perfection, it's practice makes progress.
Permanent
There is
progress.
no perfection in this industry.
There's no perfection in humanity.
Exactly.
I love it though.
Right.
But understanding that, approaching training that way, approaching the way we work that way, I think that's really kind of what's valuable, man.
100%.
I love the mindset behind that. And I love seeing more guys and more crews that are dedicated to like really making sure we can do the basics. I run an in-doc to get on a detail, to get on my details, and I just had a 10-man in-doc. We tried to run guys through basic law enforcement shooting quals. Basic law enforcement shooting quals. Not any performance assessment, okay? This is what my baseline fighting force should be able to do. We run them through about 4 different quals: military, Marine Corps, FBI, different things like that. But these are baseline quals.
Yeah, a static shooting.
Maybe 2 guys passed.
Wow.
Stop the bleed. I'm like, I toss a tourniquet at them, and they're like, I'm like, hey, throw this tourniquet on real quick. You just got shot in your whatever arm, and they're like, a couple of them had no idea. A couple of them tied it in a knot. A couple of them looked at me, put it on horrible, got pissed, just took it off because they just knew they weren't going to Valhalla doing all this stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm like, brah, and these are industry professionals that have been working with names you all know. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm constantly kind of running these in-docs, and I'm like sitting here like, we really need to pick it up. So I don't know if we're going to get standardization. I don't know that I care, but what I'm going to do, and what it sounds like you guys are going to do, which I think is really awesome, is offer training to make sure that security professionals can actually execute on. I know we do butler with a gun stuff, but actually execute on what we're actually hired to do.
Right.
Okay.
Which is being a concierge with a gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Be a protector
Yep.
who can facilitate a lot of different things.
That's right. And that's
Yeah.
one thing we teach our guys is you're only as good as your training, and at the end of the day, when you're really in the midst of everything, you're going to revert back to your lowest level of training that you mastered. No matter if you say, I've done a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Your baseline.
It's your baseline.
Competence.
Everything is built around the basics.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So you guys are offering training. You guys are doing EP.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Out of
Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona.
Yep. Tucson, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and we're standing up
Nice.
a branch here in Vegas as well.
And company name was close. what was
Charlie
it?
Mike Protection.
Charlie Mike Protection.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Is there anything else you want everyone to know about who you are and what you're doing?
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
much
you know,
known,
we're kind of going off of you're not buying a service, you're buying a result. Is our company
Nice.
model, right? So you come to Charlie Mike, you're not just getting the industry substandard that hey, this security company is just another security company on your watch, right? You're getting quality work with quality results, and that's the key word is the result. It's not a service, it's a result.
100%.
And that's kind of what we're going with.
And what brought you guys here to this venue?
So this is something I've been wanting to go to for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and finally actually landing my feet into a company full time, getting out of the medical field, being a nurse. They kind of put us here today, so
I
I'm
love
very
it.
thankful for that.
100%. Well, you guys are representing well. It's an honor, 100%.
Thanks, brother.
You
Appreciate
guys
you,
coming
brother.
by and saying everything you said, man,
Absolutely.
means the world to me. And dude, good luck out there. And I'm obviously in Arizona way more doing all the training stuff, so hopefully we'll link
Yeah,
up
we got to link up,
and
man.
we can do some stuff, man.
Yeah, let us know.
Outstanding. Boom. Boom.
Man, what an amazing day it is today. What time are we sitting right now? We're sitting at 3 o'clock right now, and it
o'clock,
feels
yes.
like just time's flying right now.
It is.
And
It is.
we're getting a lot of perspectives of some pretty amazing people here.
100%.
There's actually an amazing person to your left.
Really?
Who is he? Who is he,
100%,
Byron?
man. This is Chance. And we've seen each other a few times at these events. And he operates out of Atlanta, right?
Correct.
Yeah, man. And
ATL.
Chance has been hungry. He's popped up on my radar multiple times because he's been putting himself at these events and in the right place, commenting, doing different things.
He's creating his opportunity. He's creating his opportunities.
Literally, man. Hey, man, this
So,
stuff
yeah.
looks like Chance to everybody. I didn't mean to do that, but it did just happen.
Yes.
But things look like, Chance. But what I notice is there's certain people that are literally in my life, and I don't even know if I want to say this to the internet because now all of a sudden my DMs might blow up. But at the same time, there's really people that are in my life because I go to places where things are happening, where the pulse is in the industry, and I see them. And I go to other places and I see them, and they leave thoughtful remarks underneath content, and they're like in the space as well. And I'm like looking over, like, oh, what's up? And then I see them again, I'm like, what's up?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, who are you? And
Right.
I'll be like, who are you? You know, and it's so cool.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I love seeing dudes that are in this game, new to this game, or young in this game, and they're hungry. You know, so, dude, Chance, it's an honor, man.
That's refreshing. It's an honor to be here, brother.
Yeah. Because that was me.
It's a pleasure.
So, Chance, tell us about your journey, man. Like, why are you here, first of all?
Shout out to Mike on the bike.
Mike on the bike.
Shout out to Mike. He's not here at this conference. Mike is a officer out of Carrollton County, West Georgia. Go Wolves. We went to West Georgia together.
Yeah.
Mike introduced me to security. Okay, he asked me, and there's a story behind that. We'll
course.
have to save that one for offline.
Yeah.
But just want to say shout out to Mike on the bike. We call
Okay.
him Mike on the bike.
Mike
for
on
a
the
reason.
bike. All right.
Yes, sir.
We got to know at some point.
Yes.
You were saying some things to me about training and content. Don't have to share all of them, but I always want people to hear those things because it really validates a lot of what we're doing. And how have you seen that stuff impact you and other people around here?
So it's always interesting, right? When you're literally, let's say, for instance, you're going through your course, right? The Executive Protection Training Day.
Yeah.
Really good course. Even if you are an experienced practitioner, I think it's a good value add.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, you have these thoughts about what executive protection should be, whether it's on the front end or on the back end.
Yeah.
But the refreshing part is, it's like, okay, I'm not the only person who has these high standards.
Yeah.
I'm not the only person who has these philosophies and ways of thinking that literally they work.
Right. They actually didn't retire from da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Yeah.
They're actually out there doing 1 to 2 details a day,
Right.
chasing a pager with their PPO.
Right. And I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah,
It's a difference between the guy who does this full-time for a living, that's how you feed your family, versus the guy who's just kind of in the game wishy-washy. It's a different perspective. Not to take anything away from those guys, but the fact remains is you come with a different energy.
Yep.
You come with a different level of understanding. You're literally in the chase.
You come with a different mindset.
You come with a different mindset.
Yes.
100%.
Right.
That's good, man.
So it's refreshing to see that from you guys.
No, I love that. I appreciate that, man. And you're here. Why did you come to these? What got you in this room? And I've been seeing you in these rooms, man. And then I'm gonna ask you what did you think of the forum yesterday, man? Yeah, right. We dropping bombs, man.
Yeah, definitely. What got me in the room was a gentleman who was willing to grab me by the hand and say, "Hey, you can continue to grow."
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. And there's been people in my life, right, local guys who say, hey, Chance, continue to go.
Yeah.
This is some stuff I've done.
Yep.
This is some stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm going. Here's where you can go. And just, you do life with guys and you grow with guys. And just looking at the next guy ahead of you, you grabbing his hand, but at the same time, you reaching back and say, hey, you come with me.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been. And I've invited people to the conference as well. Some guys made it, some guys couldn't. Right. But you're still in the hunt.
Yeah.
You're still in the hunt.
That's good.
I love that, man. Have you seen value in the relationships and networking here? Has this been a value add for you? I gotta ask. They don't know because they ain't in the room with us because they stayed home. So I want more people to realize, man.
You don't know EP until you've been around the EP guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's true, man.
No, it's
You
very
don't know
true.
EP until you've been around the EP guys and you measure up.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a competition.
Right.
But it's like, dang, that guy he's shooting at a 99 percentile.
Yeah.
I'm only at 95. What is he doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Man, that's one of the biggest laments I have is that I had to pass on that shooting competition. Man. Because that's my bread and butter. That's my grid square right there, man.
That's it.
But maybe I'll move the EP forum around so I can come kick it with some of these cats at the shooting comp. But anyways, no, that's wisdom, man. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. These things are being done. You might upgrade the wheel, but you getting in here and getting access to these people and getting these relationships and hitting the floor and shaking all the hands and being part of the league and all this stuff, man. This is how you really build a career and then your company, eventually, and all those different things, man. It's all of the winning happens on the shoulders of relationships. And so seeing the guys I see here are the guys that take this industry serious. The guys that are like really trying to show up in this game and want to go to the next level. So this is like where we all are looking for guys to either bring on our company or other companies to link shoulders with.
That's it.
What'd you think of the forum?
You should have been there.
Y'all should have been there. That's what I think. Y'all should have been there.
You should have been there.
I love it, man.
The forum was great. It's my second year going to the forum. I went last year. The forum was a good value add. I went this year again, like you said, the relationships. And also you might see, the thing is, it's like you could go to the forum and you could like hear every single speaker talk. And it's like, dang, okay, I've heard this before. But like the last speaker that comes up, right? He gives you that nugget that you can use and go make 6 figures back the next year.
100%, man. 100%.
That's the value add.
But sometimes the answer is in front of you, right? And it's sometimes it's the ego of the mind that stops you from seeing the answer. You know what I mean?
I've learned so many times the answer's right in front of you.
And
you need the pressure from the situation.
That's it.
To deconstruct your ego, you need that confusion. To where your ego will be like, I actually don't know what to do.
That's it.
And then your eyes actually open up.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, there it is.
Exactly. My eye's open. It's a lazy eye, but it's open.
It's open, man. I love Constantine.
Nice, man. Well, look, man, honestly, I think it's amazing that you got that value. If you're going to right now tell the world,
the whole
world right now is listening, right?
The whole world.
One thing that you think that they should listen to coming into this game, what would that be?
Take the job that pays less.
Wow. You have to break that down.
I think we have to.
Break that down.
Just can't say that.
We just can't let them go on that, man. What you got, man? What's that?
Take the job that pays less. It's not about the money. Right? It's not about the money. Like, the thing is, like, with principle-based mindset, you'll make the money.
This dude's been invested in himself, man.
Principle-based
Cats
mindset.
don't just walk around and sound like this. You know, this is coming from somewhere.
You'll make the money.
I
took a detail, and this is one of many examples. I only took the detail for relationship building purposes only. A guy connected me, said, hey, Chance, there's a $16 an hour gig. Can you do it? I can't do it. I said, sure, why not? Built the relationship. We're doing business. We're in the hunt. Take the money. Be humble. Be humble and help the next man build. You're going to get things from a Byron, right? That's great. Go give it to somebody else.
Pay it forward.
So,
I like that.
Right there, what he's talking about principles of accessing equity that's more valuable than anything that man has created. Like the equity you're talking about, that relationship equity and having it be more blessed to give than receive, different things like that. It's a whole different way of doing life. If you can get into faithful action, faith doesn't deny reality, it changes reality. You're trying to change your reality, and you can't do that tied to this kind of lack-centric financial system we have. Like, let me just make my $50, $60 an hour, and make the short money. The long money comes from the relationships and from having the faith to take action to create a whole new world, And that, we gone deep up in here, but that is really accessing that type of currency. Is a whole game changer, man. I'm impressed at your wisdom, young. Hey, it's an honor we're connecting, bro.
It's good.
Boom. I'm gonna see him at the top. I'm gonna be bidding with other security contracts to try to work with this dude out in Atlanta, man. Chase, it's an honor, bro.
Yeah, brother.
It's been a pleasure.
100%.
100%, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Awesome.
Easy.
Boom.
Yo, ladies and gents. Little cheat code. The latest and greatest. Don't hate us because you ain't are not us. Anyways, check it out. My CAAMCK is a great tool to make any weapon that you have sitting in your safe into much more formidable tool, right? Multiple points of contact, throw a right-on optic on the top. You got a little light there. You got thumb rests. You can adjust them to fit your. So if you haven't seen them, check out CAAMCK. Take those pistols you have in your safe to the next level. Yo, if you're a private security professional wanting to take your game to the next level, go to executiveprotectiontrainingday.com to check out my personal success package for private security professionals. Check it out, executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. And remember, y'all, hard skills do save lives, but soft skills get you paid. Boom. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry, and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions.